Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you're enjoying your weekend. I just wanted to make another video tonight just to talk about something that's kind of recently come up over the past 2 days as student debt payments are set to continue very shortly. And a lot of people are concerned with this, and it's kind of triggered another debate about, student debt relief and whether there should be student debt relief or not. Um, I used to be all on board for student debt relief because I understand that 19-year-old kid who just got out of high school, now he's going to university, and then takes some course that whatever it might be that has tens of $1,000s for tuition. Then you get out to make 25 grand a year. How are you going to pay out that student loan? So I understand why people think it's a good idea, but the problem is a lot of people have different ideas on who should pay for it. Because a lot of people are just say, well, just take taxpayer money. And I understand where those people are coming from, but the problem with that is, I'll put myself in this example. So when I was 19, I made some financial mistakes with credit cards. Did I get bailed out because I made a stupid decision? No. Should I have been bailed out with other people's tax money? No. What they should be doing is teaching better money management and investment management and debt management in school to prepare these kids so that when they get out of school, they don't make these silly decisions. Now, that being said, I'm definitely for some of these debts being relieved because I do think some of these courses are a massive scam. They don't make you the kind of money you need to make after you're done school to make these payments so that you can actually get debt free in a reasonable amount of time. So in my opinion, there's two ways we can pay for this. So since we're going to forgive young people for making mistakes, well, who are the adults who advise these people? Principal, guidance counselor, parents, family. Should they pay for it? Because I didn't give them that advice. Why should my tax dollars go to paying off their mistakes when my mistakes weren't paid for? Now, where I really think this money can come from is if we stop funding the war in Ukraine. Because I'm pretty sure if we just pulled the funding, we could use that money to then relieve some of the student debt, to fix some of the poverty issues, to build more houses, things that we actually need. So if they want to take that money and pay off some debt, some student relief, set up some student relief programs, that's fine. But I completely understand the average taxpayer having an issue with this because they didn't get the same privilege. Not to mention it wasn't their mistake in the first place, so why would they have to pay for it? If you've guided these kids into making these mistakes, maybe you should be on the hook. But I think the best way to pay for it, like I said, is just to stop funding the war, use that money, and pay off some student loan, amongst other things. And that then brings me to another point is, what about like a 22-year-old who buys a house that they can't afford, a car they can't afford, credit card mistakes like I made? Should we just stop the bailouts at student loan? I don't think so. I think that if we're going to help young people and we have a surplus of money, which we do, we just spend it in the wrong places. Canada doesn't even pay off its own debt, let alone student debt. So, of course, it's not in the plans, but if you got someone who is actually reasonable in office, maybe that could be something that could be looked into, because if you pull the funding from the Ukraine war, throw half of it on our own debt and then half of it on some student loan debts, building houses, etc., then maybe we have a reasonable solution here. But it's a very complicated issue, and I know it's a very frustrating issue because a lot of people are in big trouble when they come out of college and they were promised their whole life that if you go to school, work hard, go to college, you'll get a good job and you'll be fine. Now these people have been to school for 2-3 years. They have massive debt. They go out, they start working for 25 grand a year. They can barely afford an apartment, let alone to pay off their debt, let alone to save up to buy a house, start a family. That's what everyone was told. This is why you should go to college and work hard. Well, apparently that's not really working out too well. For some people it is. There are people who pay lots of tuition, even like six figures in terms of their tuition payment, but then they come out of school a few years later and they're a lawyer or a doctor and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars. They can pay off their debt. We don't need to relieve those ones. But I do feel a little like we should help in some way, these people. Just because I didn't get that privilege doesn't mean that we shouldn't start doing it because it's still a good thing. And I'm for that, but it shouldn't be me who has to pay for it. They should take the money that they're sending over to Ukraine and other countries, supporting whatever war or their massive overspending policies, and take some of that money and help these people out. Politicians are supposed to work for us. And not in just the student loan relief, not just in a student loan relief program, but for everything. They keep raising taxes and they keep not helping us. It's really unbelievable. And you know, a lot of people say, well, they need taxes because they need to build and fix roads. Well, I live in Hamilton, Ontario. Drive down Barton Street and tell me how much they're spending on fixing roads. They're not. Some of it, they're spending some money fixing some roads, building some schools, but let's be honest, they're taking a lot of taxpayer money and spending it in ridiculous ways. I would rather have that money going to helping people rather than killing people. I think that most Canadians probably feel that way. They've just been duped into thinking that this Ukraine war is a humanitarian effort, which it's not, clearly. It's just prolonging a war so that the military-industrial complex can make more money while the average Canadian and American suffers. And this garbage needs to stop. We need to stop being so divided as well. We need to come together, both sides, left, right, middle, and just let's think of a solution so that we can help more people and stop killing more people, because I think that's what everyone wants. At least anyone who's sane wants that. But again, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I love reading your comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be back shortly with another video.